KT7 up here. Today, I will review and showcase 140 Roy Mustang. He is the banner unit for part 2 of the FMA collaboration. We will first look at his kit in detail. His vision card. My top choices for equipments and VCs. Then some sample team builds. Following that is my final thoughts on him, and lastly a couple matches showing off what he can do. I have made some changes in my presentation, let me know in the comment if you like it or dislike it. Next week in Global, we should be getting Wing Stern, then King Bradley and Dark Bahamut the following week. I will have their 140 review videos up before the banners drop. Subscribe if you want to know what they can do in auto PvP settings. Let's talk about Roy from FMA. He is a 90 cost fire magic DPS. His role is a backline attacker with very high accuracy. A great fire chainer with a few multi-hit skills. And some healing capabilities in his sub-kit. But he won't survive long if not properly protected. His main job is the Flame Alchemist, with Black Mage and Devout as sub-jobs. He is one of the most accurate unit in the game. He has no problem hitting any evasion units if set up properly. We will start off with his TMR in box 1, located at the bottom left of the screen. His TMR is a cloth. 315 HP, 12 defense and spirit. The ability is a self-buff, it will lower target's AP when attack lands. It sounds nice, but in reality I have never used it even once. There are a lot more better options. Moving on to box 2, his base stats. Roy's HP is low at 2899. Very high magic stat at 396. Agility is very low at 51, but he gets a total of 21 extra agility from his passives and board nodes, which will push it to 72 to start. High luck at 187, which will help him land his attack. Innate 2 defense and 4 spirit. 3 move, and jump 1. He does not have passives to increase his movement. On his attack type resistances, he has an innate of 15 to slash and pierce. -5 to strike, 5 to missile and neutral to magic. These are actually pretty good resistances to work with. For his status ailment resistances, he has 50% to confusion, 10% to slow and 50% to stun. The 50% confusion is nice. But being a 97 faith unit, he is very vulnerable to silence, blind, charm and stop. For equipments, he can wear glove, cloths and hats. Continuing on to his master ability and 140 ability. His master ability is the typical 10% HP and 15% fire attack up for fire allies. And for self, he gets magic attack up 10 and reaction block 20. In his 140 upgrades he gets 15 accuracy, 10 AoE resist and increase his job level 25 skills range by 1. His upgrades are very good, the extra 15 accuracy opens up options for his Trust Stone set. Continuing on to the next slide. We can farm for Roy's glove in the event. For everyone, the glove has 15 magic attack up. The additional abilities are for Roy only. He gets reaction block 30, magic penetration 20 and magic man-eater 10. If you want to go for a hyper accurate build, craft the aim type. Both magic and aim are good for different situations. Let's jump into his main job. For passives, the first one has agility up by 12, spirit penetration up 40 and AoE resistance up 15. This is a great passive. I recommend to have this on him 100% of the time. His second passive is a magic up 24% and accuracy up 25. I usually have this one on him as well. Overall, his main job passives are very good. For the counter ability, he gets magic counter. A 30% chance to counter all damage up to range 4. Next up, we have his LB. A single target move, range height of 2 and cost 58 AP. 4 hits. Damage large fire magic attack that lowers target's healing power for 3 turns. I have put my ability on or off recommendations in the box at the lower left. Now his main job buffs. His AoE buff is a 3 turns reaction block rate up of 50 for allies. And for himself, he will also get courage remove on all his attacks. This is the highest AI priority of his kit. I usually have this turned off, but having courage remove is very powerful. Especially against units like Sorrow, Bradley, Reagan, and Snow. His second buff is for himself only. It grants him a 35% all damage barrier up to 3 hits. And consume TP to increase his skill's damage by 50% for 3 turns. This is just like Summer Helena's buff. This is a great buff, both defense and offense. I recommend to have this turned on. Let's move to his attack skills. His first attack is a cross-shape AoE, range up to 5. A high accuracy attack. For 3 turns, increases his magic damage penetration by 40. Plus 30 accuracy, then 3 hit damage medium. His second attack is a single target move. Range 4, Dispel, Protect, and Shell, then deals damage large. His third attack is also a single target. Range 3, damage small, then lower target spirit by 30 for 3 turns. This is his low AP skill. Now his level 25 skill. It is a straight line AoE up to 5 range. Large damage, and recovers CT small if targets are KO'd, up to 2 enemies. The straight line AoE will get multiple targets more often than you think. That's all for his main job. Let's move on to his sub abilities. Roy gets 2 skills from his main job sub. The first skill is an attack. Single target, up to 4 range, damage large. And lower target's fire resistance by 25 for 3 turns. This could be useful in a fire team. The other skill is an AoE buff. For 3 turns, nullify Frostbite, Sleep, Confusion, Petrify, and Gradual Petrify. This is situational at best. This main sub could be useful in a fire comp, but his other sub jobs offer much more value. Let's go over to his Black Mage sub. He only gets 1 passive from this sub, the Black Mage Lore. It grants him 30% magic up and magic attack up 12. This is okay, but just stick with his main job passives. For reaction ability, he gets magic counter. 20% chance to counter after taking damage. 10% less than his main job reaction. Range up to 4. Don't run this. There are 2 notable skills in Black Mage though. He gets Drain and Faraga. Drain is the only attack skill in his whole kit that cannot be reflected. It is a non-elemental attack, damage small and absorb the damage. Could be useful against high fire resist opponents. Firaga is the only diamond shape AoE in his kit. If you want him to have a large AoE attack, this is the sub job. All the skills in his Black Mage sub have cast time and everything in his main job don't. Be sure to have cast time reduced on his Trust Stone if you decided to run this sub. Besides these 2 skills, I would recommend turning everything else off. Moving on to his Devout sub. He also only gets 1 passive. Devout Intuition. Increase his defense and spirit by 15, but lower his magic attack by 8. For reaction, he gets Counter Cure. 20% chance to recover HP small after taking damage. I have this on him all the time. This is his best reaction skill. For Devout skills, all you need to know is, he gets Law of Invigoration. Instant single target heal, recover HP medium. And raises attack and magic by 40 for target for 3 turns. If you run this sub job, turn everything off except this skill. In my opinion, Devout is his best sub job. It gives him healing, he will heal himself or allies when he is not in range to attack. Roy also gets his own vision card. Defenders of the Bonds of Brotherhood, cost 70. It supports Sword Red Mage, Bow users, Ninja Blade users, and Glove users. In the party ability, it has Pierce Resistance up 24, Increase Magic Attack Penetration 28, and crit rate up 25. For bestowed, it has magic up 20 and crit rate up 8. I have put some notable units that can benefit from this VC on the screen. It works with a few good fire units: Kefka, Yuffie, Sweetheart Ildira, and Setia. We can build a 240 cost fire glove team with Ravelka, Roy, and Kefka. I have went up against this comp a few times in the CM last month. Not a bad team. In the party ability, it has Pierce Resistance up 24, Increase Magic Attack Penetration 28, and Crit Rate up 25. In the bestowed, it has Magic up 20 and Crit Rate up 8. I have put some notable units that can benefit from this VC on the screen. It works with a few good fire units: Kefka, Yuffie, Sweetheart Ildira, and Setia. We can build a cost 240 fire glove team with Ravelka, Roy, and Kefka. I have went up against this comp a few times in the CM last month. Not a bad team. This vision card can also work very well for Ice Element, with Howlett, Reagan, and Eliza. Roy can really use the magic penetration. I will go over his penetrations in the team comp section. Now let's talk about how I like to build Roy. For his weapon, there is really no other choices than his own glove. The additional abilities on it are too good to pass up. In the second slot, I usually have Alex Ring plus 6 on him for max accuracy. The White Cape plus 6 is also not a bad choice. It gives him 5 additional agility and can help him defend against Charm and Silence. For the TMR slot, I mostly run Zombie Mask on him for the re-raise. That is the main reason why I turn off his main job AoE buff. Sorrow's TMR is a great choice as well. It gives him some agility, haste, and hate down. This TMR is so good for many units. My recommendations on Trust Stones are HP and Aim, or HP and Magic. If you need the accuracy, go with Aim. If not, go with Magic for more power. Let's take a little time to talk about his penetration. His Spirit penetration is good at 40 from passive, just the norm for magic DPS units. However, there's no innate magic penetration. He can get 20 from his gloves. His other source of magic pen is 40 from his first attack skill, but it will only last for 3 turns. He can also get 28 magic pen from his own VC. His vision card is really important for him, but I skipped it because it was just too much to handle during the anniversary. For Espers, I put them into 2 categories. In the top row are magic-based Espers with high accuracy. In the bottom row, we have Bahamut and Dark Rama. Both have high agility, magic attack up, and Man-Eater. Zalifer is only useful when you run his Black Mage sub. It can reduce cast time of 200 for attack skills. You will not run this on him if you are running Devout or his main job sub. In the vision card section, for a Roy Fire team, Encounters of Heroes is a must. 50% magic up and accuracy 13 for the party. Pairing that with the Blades of Grass VC in the sub slot, the party will get 26 total accuracy. As usual, the 15% agility from Sorrow's card is also a must. There are so many fire VCs, and depending on your fire team, pick and choose which ones work best for your setup. As for a full glove team, we currently have 7 glove VCs and JP. However, one of them is physical based, so I did not include it in here. Also, Ibarra's VC is a job-based card in JP and has Magic Man-Eater for glove users. I will talk a bit more about my experience with a full glove team next. These are a few teams that I have played around with Roy in. For a full glove team, it does not really work. The team is not bulky enough. Having Kefka give hate to Soma did not work out very well. I think if I tinker more with Zoma's skills on off, it might be better. Overall, I would say, glove team is not ready just yet. In the fire teams on the right, his accuracy is at 197. He will have little to no problem hitting evasive units. In any fire comps, Kingmont is a stable, the teams does not work without him. I like to run him with Kefka more than Yuffie. there are much less VC compromises to fit an evade unit. And Kefka can confuse his opponents, plus King Mont can berserk. The magic team works quite well. Okay, let's take a look at some sample matches. The first match, we have Fire Magic versus Wind. In this fight, I have Roy's AoE buff on so that we can see it. Re-raise from Kefka. This is Roy's AoE buff. Raises reaction block rate for allies. And courage removal for himself for 3 turns. Kefka is equipped with Vega TMR. It grants chance to inflict berserk to target when attacks land. Roy just casted Re-raise on himself with Zombie TMR. King Mont's LB, status effect number 1 landed. This is Roy's job level 25 skill. A straight line AoE, damage large. And recover CT small if target is KO'd. This is the Dispel Protect and Shell move. Single target and large damage. Almost took down Edward. Maybe it is time to up the damage cap. The next fight, we will try a glove team. Going up against the meta dark team. This is Kefka's hate up buff for teammates. My goal is to cast hate onto teammates and have them go up. Then Kefka will come into LB, confuse the opponent. Let's see if my evil plan works. This is the current meta dark team. Very powerful but not impossible to beat. That's my mistake there. Kefka did not cast Re-raise on himself and he went too far up. This is Roy's self-buff. Consume TP to increase damage on his skills for the next 3 turns. Raph is such a great unit. I got her to 140 a week ago. I will do a showcase for her before she arrives in Global. This is Roy's LB. For hit large damage. But it is not doing anything to Raph. She still recovered over 4.5k HP even with the healing power down. Rapha's all-break attack. Lower target's defense, spirit, attack, and magic. Her AI uses this skill a lot, such a great move. This is his high accuracy, 3-hit cross-shape AoE skill. Also increases Roy's magic penetration for 3 turns. Anyways, I think Roy is not a bad unit, he is just okay. He does not bring anything unique or overpowering to the table. He is a superb evasion hunter and a very good fire chainer. But beyond that, he is not that impressive. I don't have his vision card, so I could be wrong. But if I knew Kefka was coming, I likely would have picked up his card during the FMA collab and just pull for Kefka instead. That's all I have for today. Subscribe if you want to see how future units perform in auto PvP settings. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.